Hey everyone, before we dive in, if you're loving these real life stories, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. My mom never even glanced up from carving the holiday ham when she dropped the bomb. You have to move out. No anger, no warning. Just six flat words that landed right between the twinkly lights and the gravy I'd paid for. My aunt stopped chewing like someone hit pause. My little sister suddenly found her mashed potatoes fascinating. I kept my voice level even though something inside me cracked in half. The whole dining room smelled like cloves and evergreen, but all I tasted was the sharp sting of being tossed aside. I didn't yell. I didn't fight. I just sat there realizing I'd been kicked out of the house I was basically holding together all by myself. Before I get into what happened next, drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from today. It really helps me feel less alone in this. And when I'm done, tell me, what would you have done if you were in my seat? My life didn't always feel like a holiday dinner where I was the only one footing the bill for every candle on the table. A year earlier, I had my own cozy little place downtown. My first spot that actually felt like mine. Mornings were calm. I had succulents on the sill. Furniture I'd sanded and stained myself. It smelled like fresh brewed coffee and total independence. I covered every single expense with the paycheck from my tech job, and for the first time ever, I felt solid. Then Mom called. Not the regular how's it going call. This one came with shaky breaths and words that kept falling apart. She told me the family house, the one I grew up in, was about to go into foreclosure. Mortgage months behind, lights about to be cut off, bank account empty. She said she was out of ideas. That house wasn't fancy, but it still had Dad in every corner. His handwriting on the doorframe where he marked how tall we were getting. His old leather jacket in the hall closet that still smelled faintly like his cologne because nobody could bring themselves to wash it. The idea of strangers living there twisted something deep in my gut. So I moved home. Mom cried happy tears and squeezed me so hard I could barely breathe. She called me her hero. For a minute, I believed it. I gave up my lease, packed my whole apartment in one weekend, and told myself it was short term, just until she got steady again. My sister, still in school, thanked me for saving Mom. My aunt who lives close by said she was proud of how responsible I was. But weeks slipped into months, and thank you slowly turned into of course you will. I paid the mortgage, the water bill, the cell phones, the groceries, the random, I need this stuff, fancy face creams, faster Wi-Fi. Dinners she threw for her friends that I shopped for and cooked. Every time I carefully asked if she'd put in any job applications, she'd sigh like I was the one stressing her out. It's tough at my age, she'd say from the new couch I bought, under lights I kept on. My sister's go-to line became, just give her time, she's overwhelmed. Truth was way simpler. I stopped being her daughter and started being the family ATM, and nobody blinked. It didn't flip overnight. It snuck up like a draft you don't feel until you're freezing. First it was the Wi-Fi. One night I was logged in late fixing a server emergency, and Mom came barreling down the hallway. Not screaming, but that tight, cutting tone she's mastered. Ever since you brought all your computers in here, the internet crawls. I can't even watch my shows. My shows that streamed on the plan I upgraded and paid for. Then the dishwasher became my job. I'd drag in after a 10-hour day, clean light blinking, and there's Mom scrolling on her phone. Oh, perfect, you're home. Can you empty it? My back's killing me. Funny how that back never hurt on girls' shopping days. My sister still saw Mom through rose-colored glasses and kept feeding me the same line. She stressed, be patient. Patience was pretty much all I had left, and it was running on fumes. By early December, the house didn't feel like home anymore. It felt like walls closing in. Every bill, every chore, every dramatic sigh made the air heavier. I kept thinking Christmas would smooth things over. That cooking together would remind us we're still family. So I went all out, brined the ham, made every side from scratch, shopped at the good grocery store, even bought little gifts because I wanted to believe kindness could fix the gap that kept growing. Christmas Eve came. The tree was glowing, the table looked perfect, the whole house smelled amazing. Aunt Lisa drove in to celebrate with us, totally clueless and cheerful. For 1 second, I let myself relax until the tension snapped like an overstretched rubber band. Mom never looked up from her plate when she said, "You need to move out." No lead up, no explanation, just cold and final, like the decision was already signed and sealed. The knife in her hand caught the light. Aunt Lisa froze mid-chew. Emily stared at her plate like it owed her money. And there I was, at the table I paid to keep from being repossessed. I could have exploded. I could have demanded answers. Instead, this weird calm washed over me. "Seriously?" I asked softly. "I pay the rent, the utilities, the food." Mom just shrugged, the most casual shrug I've ever seen, like I was an old appliance that finally wore out. That shrug did it. Something inside me quit trying to glue the family together. I didn't make a scene. I didn't slam anything, even though she'd swear later that I did. I just stood up, slid my chair in quietly, and said, "Excuse me." Aunt Lisa watched me leave with huge eyes. Emily pretended she didn't see. I went to my childhood bedroom, the one with the ugly rose wallpaper I've hated since 7th grade, sat on the bed, and waited for tears that never showed up. All I felt was this clean, hollow quiet. A whole year of excuses and swallowed anger had finally burned itself out. So I made a choice. I dragged my suitcase out of the closet, dusty because I hadn't touched it since the day I moved back to save everyone. I wiped it down and started packing. Not sentimental stuff, just clothes I actually wear, my laptop, chargers, a couple things that were really mine. Everything else felt like dead weight from a life that had been sucking me dry. I booked a week at a cheap motel across town. The confirmation email felt like breaking the surface after being underwater forever. I waited until the house was asleep, until the wine knocked Mom out cold. Then I slipped away. Snow was coming down in big, soft flakes, muffling everything under the porch light. It should have looked magical. It didn't. I drove off without a single glance in the rearview. The motel room was tiny and smelled like old carpet and bleach, but nobody sighed at me for existing. I slept 12 hours straight. Next morning, I kept waiting for a text, a call, something showing they noticed I was gone. Nothing. Day 2, nothing. Day 3, still silence. It stopped hurting and started feeling like proof. Me being gone wasn't a problem, it was convenient. Then, while I was scrolling apartment listings, Emily finally texted. "You won't believe the story Mom's telling everyone." The lies were Oscar-worthy. According to Mom, I screamed, threw things, abandoned her with no money and no warning on Christmas. Relatives were already picking teams. It wasn't enough to shove me out the door. She had to repaint me as the monster. Something locked into place inside me. Not fury, resolve. If she wanted a dramatic story, I'd give the world the receipts instead. I didn't argue in private texts. I let her version spread until it was so over the top even drama lovers started side-eyeing it. Meanwhile, I kept working, kept hunting for apartments, kept breathing in quiet that finally felt safe. The blowback started with Aunt Karen, the out-of-state one, calling me, dripping judgment. "I heard you threw a fit on Christmas and walked out on your poor mother after everything she sacrificed for you." I almost laughed. Instead, I just listened, let her finish the whole script Mom fed her. Arguing privately would just get twisted. Defending myself one-on-one would be ignored. Confronting Mom directly? Instant waterworks performance. There was only one move left. Shine daylight on the whole thing. That night in the glow of the motel lamp, I opened my laptop and wrote one calm, public post. No yelling, no insults, just a simple timeline. Every bill I paid for a full year. Every grocery run. The quiet Christmas Eve where nobody raised their voice and I left because I was told to. I ended with, "I'm safe and I hope we can all choose honesty from here." Posted it. Turned my phone off. Went to sleep. Next morning my phone practically vibrated off the nightstand. Comments, messages, missed calls exploding. The truth sliced Mom's fairy tale clean in half. My cousin Jake, who never says much, wrote first. I knew something was wrong. "I'm here if you need me." Another cousin, she never told us any of this. "Are you okay?" Aunt Karen called back within hours doing a full 180. I had no idea. "I'm so sorry, sweetie." Grandma left a gentle voicemail asking if we could talk. Emily texted in full panic. Mom is losing it. She says you're turning everyone against her. For the first time in a year, people were actually seeing me. Mom didn't call. Not that day, not the next. A week later, after I'd signed the lease on a sunny little studio with big windows and cheap laminate floors that somehow felt like luxury, there was a soft knock. I knew who it was before I looked through the peephole. Mom stood in the hallway holding a store-bought pie like a white flag. Makeup perfect, face arranged into soft regret. I heard you moved in here, she smiled. Brought dessert. I stepped into the hall and closed the door behind me, polite but firm. She wasn't coming inside. She lifted the pie higher. Aren't you going to let me in? It's chilly. I didn't answer that. I asked, did you come to say you're sorry? Her mask flickered. Then the indignation rose. Well, I don't think I'm the one who needs to apologize. We both made mistakes. But that post was cruel. You humiliated me. There it was, the real her. Not sorry for what she did. Sorry she got caught. I took a slow breath. The hallway smelled like someone's garlic dinner and elevator metal. Grounding, normal. This isn't about you being embarrassed, I said quietly. This is about every single thing you expected me to carry alone, and how fast you threw me away the second I stopped being useful. She opened her mouth, tears already loading, but I kept going, calm and clear. This is my home now, my life, and I'm done being your backup plan. Her eyes went hard. So that's it? After everything I've done for you, you're cutting me off? The irony almost made me smile. After everything I've done for you, I corrected. You told me to leave. I just finally listened. For a long second, she actually looked at me, really looked, and saw someone she couldn't guilt, scare, or rewrite anymore. I stepped back to my door. Take care of yourself. I closed it. No slam, no drama, just done. Through the peephole, I watched her stand there a minute, pie in hand like she forgot what it was for, then set it on the floor and walk away. I left it there. Inside my new place, sunlight poured across the empty floor, and it felt like the first day of the rest of my life. This wasn't revenge. This was oxygen. Things got quiet after that, quiet in the best way. My little studio is mine alone. Every bill, every coffee mug, every sunrise. I wake up to light instead of sighs. I brew coffee exactly how I like it. Silence finally feels like peace instead of punishment. Some families stayed neutral. Some reached out with real support once the truth was out in the open. Grandma and I had lunch. Jake helped me haul the last box out of storage. Aunt Karen apologized again, this time for real. Emily started coming over for coffee, asking how I budget, how I knew it was time, how I found this place. One day she whispered, she's starting to do it to me now. I squeezed her hand. When you're ready, I've got boxes. Christmas doesn't feel like a performance anymore. It feels like a season I get to choose how to spend. What I learned is pretty straightforward. Love without respect is just a bill someone else expects you to pay. Family without boundaries is just a slow leak that drains you dry. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away without a fight and let the truth do the screaming for you. Mom probably still tells her edited version to anyone who'll listen. That's fine. It doesn't own me anymore. I have my own little home, my own peace, and a life measured by what I choose to give, not what gets taken. If you've ever had to untangle yourself from family that only knew how to take, know you're not alone. Drop where you're watching from in the comments. Share your story if you want. I read them all. And if this one hit home, please hit that subscribe button so you never miss the next one. See you in the next video.